Musician Tailor's Twin and Chevie.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the Tailor's Talk Podcast, live here at Grand Entertainment Studios, home of Musician Tailor LLC. I'm your co-host, Chevie Revis, along with my co-host and co-founder, Darrell Twin Smith. Today's special guest is one of the most sought-out and booked percussionists in the ATL and around the globe. You can catch him on some of the biggest stages in Atlanta, to include private events, doing his unique style of drumming and keeping the crowd and the artists on beat. He has thousands of followers on YouTube in which he gives his fans daily doses of vibes, tricks, and tips and entertainment on his drum set, in which he coined Driven by the Beat, Fueled by the Blessing. Please help us in welcoming to the show, Ray Vick.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, Twin. Thanks for having me, Chevy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
welcome.
Sir, man. Welcome to the
Welcome,
Tailor's
Ray.
Talk Pop
Yeah,
Podcast.
it's a pleasure to have you out here. I looked over that old bio. It was something serious.
It's built up.
But you're humble, though. That's a good thing. You saying it's built up. That thing's something serious. I'm like, you've been to a lot of award shows that a lot of folks dream to be at. And it's a pleasure to have you on the Tailor Talk podcast.
Man, I appreciate the invite.
Yes, sir. So, we always gonna have to ask you, how did your journey begin?
Oh man. This right here, what y'all looking at, is a homegrown situation. Completely homegrown. I started asking about drums when I was 4. So I kinda popped out pretty much on music time.
Oh, you was on beat.
Yeah. My mother's a pianist, plays organ.
Nice.
My father was a well-known organist before he passed in Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
And
Gary.
yeah, so I got that honest.
So your parents played in the church?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Father played in the church. My mom also taught choirs in the church, youth choir. My father taught the adults and everything like that. Starting off at 4 years old, I was like, yeah, I want to play the drums. My mom was like, you gotta learn your ABCs, my boy. Like, you say your ABCs? I'm like, all right, well, shoot, we gonna work on that. Right. Next year came around, I got my ABCs down, and she said, I'm sitting right there looking at her. She like, what? You good job. We clapping. I'm like, what about these drums?
Right.
I was serious about it at an early age, and I
right.
never stopped.
So when you was at church, you used to sit by the drummer and just watch them?
Yeah, I did. I did quite a bit of watching. I was always in the keys. I really liked, the whole ambiance of the organ and how the organ fills up the church and how it ushers in the spirit and everything like that. So I'm a big fan of keys. I respect keys heavily, but drums was just at the core. So I took lessons from 5 years old, and by the time I was 9 years old, I wasn't even watching the drummers no more. I was playing for the youth choir at my church, and I was playing for the Gary United Male Chorus.
Okay.
Right.
By the time I was 9, so 4 years of training.
Oh, that's dope. So it's the crazy thing, I wanted to play the drums.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was at church, I grew up in a Church of God in Christ. So I'm sitting there right there in front of the drums, wanting to play them. This how my grandma do me. The guy that played the drums, he was a senior in high school, and he went to my grandma and said, "Can I teach the twins to play the drums?" And she said, "No, they need to pay attention to God."
I can see that. That's in the early days when drums wasn't even allowed in church for a little minute.
Oh,
I don't know if y'all remember that.
We always kind of had them in Mississippi.
In the South,
Mississippi.
In the South.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense.
So
That
we
makes
had
sense.
drums.
Up north, it was kind of slow.
You had the
Yeah, right,
organs, piano, and we had a bass guitar player up there. And I'm talking about, I'm, 6, 7 years old. So yeah, we had a full-blown band.
You know, he
Okay.
play bass too.
Yeah, it's
He
my
ain't gonna say-
secondary.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Let me get some of them bass lessons.
Right.
We can put something together.
Yeah.
We can put something
Play-
together.
play games.
If I can't teach you, I got a couple dope cats I can put you on with for sure.
Yes, sir.
So Gary, Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
2300 Jackson, Street, all that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of my favorite rappers out of there, Gangsta Gibb.
Oh
Freddie
my
Gibb.
gosh. We so proud.
Yeah, I love.
We so
love-
proud
that's
of that
one my-
man.
Yeah, he dope.
For real, for real.
Yeah.
That's the gangsterest thing that came up
Yeah,
out of
Out of
came up
Gary.
out of Gary since
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Are
That's
you
what's
are you
up.
an Indianimal?
Oh no, my brother, no. That's a good question.
I know, right? I don't remember asking. 'Cause me and him spent a lot of time in Indiana.
Uh-huh.
You was at Camp Atterbury, right?
Yeah, I went up there once, and then
Yeah.
that's when I had to slide out
Yeah.
of there. They
Yeah.
was up there, you know. I had left the unit and went to another unit, and I had to get out that unit. You already know why. Robles, he wanted me to choke him out. we had a lieutenant colonel in charge that never deployed, but I was trying to tell somebody
How it is.
how to deploy tactics. So me and him, I ain't get along with him. I would call him out every chance I got. And so we bumped his, then I bumped his with the old Ragley Sergeant Major. So then I Sergeant Major Young. I went to Sergeant Major Young. I said, Sergeant Major Young, I need you to get me out of here. He was my old battalion Sergeant Major when I was in 166 Armor. So we was on that deployment where I got hurt. So he told me if I need anything. So I went to him and he got me pulled up out that unit.
Yeah, Indiana it's where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? But it was definitely needed for me to, like you did, make some moves and, spread what I had going on and go elsewhere. But back to what you asked, I don't wanna miss anything or miss anybody because these people are important to me. I know I made it seem like I didn't watch no drummers when I was coming up, but I had my teacher when I was 5. His name was Butch McGee. And the drummer that I watched at my church before I got the chance to start getting in there and taking over, his name was Davis McGee.
Okay. They were brothers, cousins?
No, wasn't
Okay.
even kin. Wasn't even kin at
wow.
all. But both bad. You know what I'm saying? So I had to sit, behind the booth and watch Big Dog Davis do his thing. He was 3-4 times bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little cat, but I still got to get in here and get busy. You know what I'm saying? And also the organist that I came up under, Thomas Elmore.
Okay.
He's a big name organist in Gary.
So you a one-man band. You can play the keys, the bass, and the drums.
I've been running away from keys, y'all, but it's catching up with me. It's catching up with me. I don't got no choice now, because now I'm starting to get deeper into production, and you know how important.
Yeah, them keys is. So, and that was my next question. Since you playing all these instruments, do you produce?
So I started getting into production more heavy when I moved down to the South, because I realized the fashion I play, I felt like, okay, I was going to be able to come down and roll with that, which I have. But when you talk to industry professionals, they like, okay, you play drums, you dope. That's what's up. What else do you do? And I'm looking like, dang. What else am I supposed to do? They was like, you don't make beats, you're a drummer. Like, why wouldn't you make beats? So I got down here and I realized how important it was. And I started linking with other musicians. And I can be a one-man band, but I'm also a team player when it comes down to playing with bands and everything. But also, I feel like I'm a better team player as a producer as well.
That's
You know what I
dope.
mean?
You can get a lot done, like as a team player. You get, a lot of stuff come out the studio when you do have a group of people that want to see something blossom when they walk out of it. Me and Chevie tell you back in the days, that little house used to be jumping. It'd be a bunch of us in there, but everything, some dope music came out after that. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I guess if everybody went their own ways, that's when it's like you could never find that chemistry like you
Right.
want it. So that's how come like I met other cats when I was at Hood, for the Hood. It didn't work out. Cats when yeah, I was at Knox. I got back to Knox. It just seemed like them deployments kept us going. So it was kind of you hit it on the nail. When everybody together, things come out and great things come out. But even like you said, they they force you into production when you say, "Hey, I want to be the coldest drummer in the world," and they're like, "Hey, what else you gonna do?" So that would definitely push you into the production side of music.
I had to think about it like when I was getting ready, when I was coming down this way. I know they don't do a whole. You don't hear, Justice League too much, but them Justice League cats
Yeah,
that started off that whole regal sound of what Rick Ross built his whole
Man,
artistry off
big
of.
sound.
Yeah.
Big sound. That was two cats. They was always together, and they also used other instrumentalists to come in, so it wasn't just one or two minds in the studio. Them cats was always pulling from everything, and that was the type of me. I'm like, I look at that as production, which was the other reason why it took me a minute to get into production, because I'm like, if I want to do it, I want to do it on Maybach music level. You know what I'm saying? Justice League level.
Right.
So, I'm getting into it slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying? I'm in it. I got some production that I've done with people, but I'm so serious about it to the heart. I want it to be 5-5. Otherwise, I don't want to talk about it.
I met him in a producer house. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Yes,
to
sir.
Corey Moe.
Big shout out to Corey Moe.
Yeah, man, studio, his drum set up in there, man. So that sound like a good transition for you to go from there to that. You know what I'm saying? And growing up how we grew up back in the day, people didn't realize like Too Short. Most of all his albums started off with live instrumentation. Well, really, the whole album seemed like it was live instrumentation. They just added a couple drums here and there.
Too Short.
Too
with
Short.
the,
Bass
Ghetto
line,
Boys.
Ghetto Boys. Yep, people like that. So that live instrumentation.
Corey Moe is bad, man.
Oh,
Legendary.
yeah, man, Corey Moe, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Shout
got
out to
some
Moe.
got some dope songs out
Yeah, country rap tone.
Country rap tune for sure.
Yeah. So what you were doing over there when I met you over there?
Hey, man. So I was meeting people. I was meeting important people
Yeah.
like you,
Nah, that's cool.
and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
and
like
and I also met ATL Top 20 there.
okay, shout out Bishop.
Shout out to Bishop. When I met Bishop, so the guy that discovered me in Atlanta, I gotta give him props. My boy Aaron G. You know what I'm saying?
there. Oh, Aaron.
Hey,
Good old Aaron
Big
G.
A.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Aaron Grossman.
Aaron Grossman. He put me on to Corey Moe. You know what I'm saying? Brought me in the building. He was like, "Man, I want you to work with this new producer, man. He gonna be the deal. His name is Twan. Twan the guy. This and that. I'm put you on with Twan." So me and Twan became cool. We started vibing. You know what I'm saying? So he really brought me down and started trying to get me lined in with Mo, because Mo works with live instruments. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's not a whole lot of cats that do that. Even still. You know what I'm saying? That put they sound and be like, yeah, now I'm finna call a guitar player. We about to do this now. Yeah, now I'm finna call a bass player. We about to do this now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then he gonna get on the organ. He showed me that organ that Pimp left on. Pimp
You
C
seen
left.
it? Yeah.
He brought it out like once.
I seen it one time too. That's it.
Once.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I
Yeah.
seen him play it, but I saw
Yeah.
it at least once. And Aaron was telling me how important all that stuff was. And coming from Indiana, y'all, like, I'm from the Midwest. We basically ride off the best of the best music because we in the middle. We not biased. We not like this the East Side. I mean East Coast sound. This is what we rock with. This is a West Coast sound. If it ain't got that bop, we ain't rocking with it. Midwest, like, think about Twister tracks. He got Pharrell from Virginia on the track, and Jamie Foxx from Houston doing the hook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of blend of music. So, like, yeah,
We know the Midwest very well.
Okay.
I lived
Very
in
well.
Kansas. That was my first dude station. Kentucky.
yeah.
They had us all in there. So we met a lot of people from Indiana and Milwaukee. Gary,
Wisconsin.
Chi-Town right there. Yeah, Wisconsin.
St. Paul.
Yeah, St. Paul,
I was all up in there.
We know the sound.
Illinois, St. Louis, but Ohio. I mean,
yep.
we every
Since then,
Detroit.
we done did out. Yeah,
Yeah, man. So
yeah.
growing up there,
I've been
the
through
South,
Gary.
like
Yeah.
he is there.
Yeah.
Being up
Got to stop
there,
by Michael Jackson's house now, man.
got to.
I've
Got
been
to.
through that.
got to. Growing up, my
Yeah.
grandma's house was a block away,
Really?
2 blocks away across the street.
Wow.
Yeah. So growing up and seeing Mike get on TV, everybody
Yeah.
piled up in front of the TV and all that, waiting for him to come on and
Right.
do the moonwalk. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But we
right.
not the whole thing to inspire us as kids to realize he came from down the block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as back to what I was saying, as far as being from the Midwest and respecting the South sound, that's what drew me down here. Cause it's like I like East Coast, I like West Coast. You know what I'm saying? But starting to hear them tracks UGK was putting out.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
I wasn't really allowed to get too deep into Too Short and Pimp too much. You know what I'm saying? When they was on their solo, but like UGK was around the time when I was really able to be like, okay, I can hear. Okay, I'm tapping in. Young Jeezy, T.I., you know what I'm saying? David Banner. That's when I got a little bit older.
Yes, sir.
Man, like all that stuff so inspired me so heavily. Even being from the Midwest, I'm like, yo, I rock with that sound. But like I was telling my brother right here, I'm connected to the South. My mother side of the family's from Midwest Ohio. My father's from Mississippi.
Okay.
What part?
Grenada.
Oh,
Yeah,
Grenada.
Grenada.
Okay.
Grenada, Gore Springs.
All right.
Yeah,
So
that's
much
a-
to the
exactly
point.
what it said.
I know.
So much to the point, my uncles, when I met them, they was like, all right, I want you to come around, meet your other uncle, this and that, this and that. And he was like, yeah, we all down here. And I was like, okay. And he was like, we also all over Gore Springs. I was like, okay, I don't know nothing about Gore Springs because I was in Grenada. He was like, look, Gore Springs is nice. Don't go down there trying to talk to no women, though. And I'm looking at him. I had my brother with me, too. He's like, don't go down there trying to talk to no women. I'm like, why? He's like, most of them your cousins. I was like, dang. He was like, the whole family down there. And I was like, okay.
Right.
Good heads up.
My first battle buddy in the military, he's from Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
Hardeman. Jermaine Hardeman. Yeah,
Okay.
That's how I know that area very
Yeah,
well.
we used to play them in football.
Then
Word.
Yeah, I'm from Columbus.
Yeah.
Columbus, Mississippi.
They just
So-
beat us in the world, in the state champ.
Okay.
Last year. Grenada. They state champs right now.
Grenada was like West Point. You looked across that line, them dudes looked like they was 29 years old.
Out there.
They were cornbread feed.
Yeah. Putwood.
Putwood.
Yeah, out there living Putwood and stuff. They're strong.
Word.
Yeah, them boys like they supposed to be in college, man. in
And
junior
they
high.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
So,
were big. You,
yeah.
like, you look across that like, oh, no, we finna lose this game.
Yeah.
No rivalry there. That's a one and done.
So, that's a great connection. You said that drew you down here. 'Cause that's crazy, like how we all connected. Like even Twan, I took Twan to Aaron. That's how he got over there. Then Aaron took him on his wing to get him with Corey Moe. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I've been knowing Twan since 2006. So
Okay.
yeah, man, go way back. But it's cool how everything is connected. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
Yeah. And this guy here, man, all over the city. We're gonna get to it in a second.
But yes, so, man, it's, as you were saying that, Corey Moe, he always like live instrumentation, and that's what you want to do. So as you maneuver your way through Atlanta and with your production style, have you just said, okay, I want to work with this artist and say we want to make a complete live instrumentation record for an artist?
No, I haven't got that far just yet. I got a team. You know, the musicians. One cool thing about the musicians that we work with, or that I work with down this way, everybody kind of like, it ain't. They have bands, but it ain't no lines. We can still call each other and be like, hey, I need to use you for this, or I got somebody that needs this, and we can pull on each other. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't really finna trip. You know what I'm saying? Long as we all still spreading it around. You know what I mean? So I got some cats we're talking about doing that for some artists. You know what I mean? We got the ability. You know what I'm saying? My buddy just built him a studio. Shout out to my boy CB. He just built him a studio. We call it the South Side. It's down there in College Park.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, we definitely in the in the makings on everything.
That's what's happening.
That's why I like Atlanta. Everybody work together here,
You said,
man.
oh, it's his name Southside or
That's what we coining the studio name as Southside
Southside.
Southside Studio.
not
Not
808 Mafia Southside?
no, that's his
Okay,
name, Southside.
Okay.
He part of 808 Mafia.
okay.
But yeah. Nah,
Yeah,
that's dope.
I know you. Okay, no, they made my people.
No, I know. Yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, I know what you were saying, but he was saying that the connection of the 808 Mafia.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought
His
that's who
his
you were
name
talking
is
about.
Southside.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm like,
Producer name Southside.
Okay.
Mhm.
TM808 and all
Yeah.
them, they part of that. I think they all in the same clique
Yeah.
or whatever.
For
That's
sure.
dope. That's dope. You got any placements like for us like on records?
Nah, no placements yet. No
Okay.
placements yet. I'm still young in the producer game, but I get the feeling the more I take it serious and the more my artistry has been growing, it's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna
But you
cook.
got them on. Can we hear you like you playing the drums on anything? Like you in that mode?
Recently it's a young artist called the Chosen One, and I got hired to come in to Stankonia Studios and redub the drums for like a Bobby Womack track.
Ooh.
Cause basically this is a young cat, kind of like he turning the table a little bit. He in his
Okay.
20s, but he a soul singer.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And we
So
need
we
that.
redoing it. Redid a Bobby Womack track. I did it with I Am Mr. DJ, the producer
Yeah, for Outkast.
for Outkast.
Mr. Sheets.
Yeah.
David Sheets.
Yeah, so I was in
Okay.
the studio with
Yeah.
him.
He's
That
one of
was-
my favorite producers, man.
That's a serious cat, man.
Yeah. He's real low key.
Real low key. So when I
Yeah.
met him, I'm talking to him. I'm just in
Yeah.
there trying to be professional and do a good job and all that. And he was at me at first because he don't know me. He ain't know me either. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, I want it like this. I want it like that. And I brought the vintage toms in there and everything, so I was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I had the big point, all that. Man, so we get done with the session, and I could tell, he was cool. He was liking what came out. So I'm talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I am Mr. DJ. Like I'm responsible for, them Outkast tracks. Like I'm like that's the Outkast was my favorite group.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Hands
Come on
down.
now, man.
Hands
What's
down.
up?
Before, you know what I'm saying? Way before I even thought about moving to the A.
Yeah.
I was so like just inspired by them. Then they got producers called Organized Noise, and my whole style of the stuff I like is just like
What they was doing?
yeah,
Okay.
man. Yeah.
Cause
For
that was
sure.
live instrumentation. Ray Murray, he's part of Organized Noise. I
Mhm.
had the privilege of sitting in one time of him making beats and got to touch the actual, beat machine that he made Southern Playlist Cadillac music on. Some of that. So he'll tell you like they used a lot of live instrumentation on that record, and then you can actually hear it, of course. Like that song "Funky Ride," that's a whole, Preston Crump, that type of person. Then if you look at the actual CD, you'll see Mr. DJ in there standing by Big Boy and Dre on that first album. So
And he was telling me I got to meet Ray a couple times, Ray Murray, Sleepy Brown. You know what I'm saying? Shh, that
Rest in
boy.
peace, Rico Wade, man.
Right. Yeah, and he was that's I Am Mr. DJ's kin. That's kinfolk.
Yep.
I like,
Yeah,
man,
that's
bruh,
family. All of them.
to grow up listening to all that, enjoying it just as much as I'm enjoying Chi-Town music, and then to be able to come down here and meet these cats, work with them, do a good job to where they looking at me like,
Yes, you know.
let me get your number. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do this again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's dope, man. That's super dope. So as with that experience, going there to Stankonia, playing those drums for that record, is R&B the only thing you do, or you do all genres?
man, I do it all, Doc. I do it all. I know how to play Latin, bossa nova groove. You know what I'm saying? I know how to play in, you know what I'm saying, 7/8. You know what I'm saying, 5/8, jazz. So I started out. They asked me even when I was little. They was like, "How you want to play? How you want to hold your sticks?" And I was like, I didn't know it was no difference. They was like, "You got traditional grip, which is
Yeah.
where you got the kind of call it the chicken wing
Chicken
hand or
wing,
whatever, to where your stick is in the hand in between these fingers. And I was like, but I see a lot of drummers, the rock drummers, they all play straight up and down. They was like, that's fine, but what's more comfortable for you? So when they told me this was traditional, I'm like, I want to go traditional if it's traditional. You know what I'm saying? So I started off in jazz mode. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, my father, he loved jazz. The reason why he was so cold at organ because he would get into jazz.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, all genres, doc.
Okay.
Did you
Rock,
play in the band?
gospel, huh?
You play in the band? High school band, anything like that?
Oh man, I was in all the bands.
That's what
Doc.
I was trying to tell you. I think we missed over. Yeah.
Man, I was in the jazz band. I was in the pep band they do at the in the basketball games.
Yeah.
I was the young gun up against because they used to only allow like the juniors and the seniors to play the drums for the pep band because they seasoned and all that. I was the only one giving them hell every time.
right.
They be like, oh, hey, there you go.
There you go, right.
There you go. You doing that stuff again. You know what I'm saying? So
do all the,
yeah, and I still keep up with them cats,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Still keep up with them. So pep band, jazz band, marching band,
You snare?
snare.
You snare?
I was as far as marching band, they didn't allow freshmen at my school. They didn't allow freshmen.
Wow. You should have
Freshmen
came down
were
south.
not allowed, right?
See, it's the best play in the South.
True. I love the bands in the South. Super serious. Freshmen was not allowed. The teacher I rocked with in middle school, I used to hop on the drums and show her what I could do all the time. I'd be like, yeah, this and that. Come to find out, she ended up going from my middle school teacher to start teaching with the high school band the same time I went from middle school and went to high school. She put me in the band.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even supposed to be in the band. So they gave me fifth bass. I was a little dude. I ain't stopped. I was short for a minute. Fifth bass. Great big old joint, dog.
Big boy.
And I'm, man, I don't remember how tall I was. I ain't stopped growing until I was like 23.
Wow.
So I had another growth spurt because I was short for a little bit. Man, Doc carrying the dang on bass, bro.
Come on, man.
But we was doing it. I did it. It got done. We was
Yeah,
setting off
yeah,
alarms
yeah.
and all that. So after that, I was on snare for the rest of the time.
Same here.
Snare only.
Yeah. Snare from 7th grade to 12th grade. Lead snare.
That's how
Where?
my sister was.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yes,
The crazy
sir.
thing,
Yes,
my
sir.
sister,
Yeah.
first chair from the 7th grade to her 12th grade year. She got band scholarships and everything. So she was cold on that drum. And the crazy thing, it was my sister, our neighbor Tracy, those the only two girls that were snare players from the 7th grade to the 12th grade. They were cold on them drums.
Man, shout out to sis. That
Yes,
ain't
it
that ain't light.
No.
Nah, I know. Trust me. I just she used to come in there because even when before my sister passed away, she was teaching my son how to play the drums. So my son, when he was in middle school, he was in a band. But the one thing I know he's probably regretting it now that he ended up quitting the band. His mama let him do that, but he could. The crazy thing, my son was in a band. He could sing whole 9 yards. He trying to make beats now, but I was like, when I tried to get him to do it, he fought me against it. But now he's trying to do it. But I'm like, okay. He'll send me a beat. I listen to it. I don't give him no feedback though.
Gotta give him some courage, man. Come on, little D.
You got to line them up a little bit.
Keep sending them beats, little D.
Right. You got to line them up a little bit. Keep them going.
Let D27.
Yeah. Keep sending them beats, D. Load them up.
Keep it going, Doc. Keep it going.
But nah, that's dope, man. I like the journey hearing that you came from there to here. How has it been since you moved here to Atlanta? Like just the scene overall.
Man, y'all, God is good, y'all.
Amen.
God is good.
All the time.
I moved down here on faith and just feeling a lot more useful when I got down here versus I didn't really hit a ceiling in the Midwest, but it was like I was working with bands. I actually got 2 albums on iTunes.
Okay.
Oh,
I got 2 albums on iTunes I made with a group called Caught on Klein. Very
Okay.
diverse group. The thing about Gary is in the Gary Maryville area, the whole area up there is very diverse.
Mhm.
People don't know that, but I made an album with a Greek guy, a great big Macedonian dude, 6'9". He was also the
Look.
sixth bass player behind me. He was behind me when
Mm,
I was the freshman,
gotcha.
and he used
Yeah.
to. I used to be
Yeah.
big, great, big old dude behind me, and I'm like this.
Right.
And he used to like nudge me
Mhm.
anytime I act like I'm getting tired or I'm slacking off. He'd be like,
Mm.
"Hey,
He
hey,
poke you.
keep
That
it
what
going."
it mean.
And then some. Then he turned out to be the bass player on the albums I made before I moved here. Right.
Okay.
So shout out to them guys. Caught on Klein. Those are
Mhm.
those are my brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
2 albums out before I left. Um, I just wasn't getting as much hip hop work as I wanted. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I absolutely love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I love the message. You know what I mean? So I just felt a lot more useful when I got down here. So back to what it was like getting into the scene here, it was a little back and forth with the people up north because they was like they really didn't want to see me go, and they definitely didn't want to see me get down here and not do anything.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody, I won't say everybody. It was some people that were a little skeptical, like, what if you get down there and nothing happens? Like, what if you doing all this and you getting all this money together and you get down there and just what? Man, look, first year I was on this ground, I not only made it to the BET Awards, opening up with Lil Duval playing snare, turning up, doing all my stick tricks and all that
Yes, sir.
stuff. I also I'm a carpenter by trade. So I be telling people anytime I do podcast interviews, anything, day job, doc. You can have your
Yes, sir.
dream, do whatever you need to do. Don't be afraid of your day job. Don't be afraid of
Yeah.
not
Preach.
regular career. You know what I'm saying? Anything that has to do with, cause you ain't finna be playing drums all day.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I came down. I'm a part of the Carpenters Union. That's also what I did before I moved down. I did that in Indianapolis.
Oh,
Once I got down here with them, did the BET Awards, and I also was a part of building sets for the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl happened right when I came down here. I was able to take a picture with the Lombardi on the platform that our crew built. You know what I'm
that's hard.
saying?
Yes,
That's
sir.
So to
hard.
get down here with people was acting like they didn't know if it was really gonna be the move or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, Doc, that was two
Yeah.
big darts on the board. They was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
nothing we can say now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Doc.
Literally,
Keep going.
living your best life.
Man, Doc.
So
So before,
Duval, that what you was playing on?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. City Boys,
City Boy. Okay.
City
So
Boy with it.
I got you. Got you.
That was the one.
I actually remember that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. That's the one I
So,
snuck in.
so Atlanta, I tell anybody, if you come here, you definitely can find a way to make it. A lot of folks that come here and they end up going back home because they didn't have that drive, they wasn't focused, they didn't have that plan, and they didn't stick to their plan. So even the music wise, I would say this here: when I retired from the army, I was in Texas. But I went overseas and I was working. Soon as I got here, cuz I thought you do music. What you doing overseas? He said, our time. Come on down here to Atlanta. So man, I was at that desk, man. I was sick of it. The money was good, but at the end of the day, I just felt I was still in the army. So I said, yeah, it's time for me to come home. And so I I said I got online. I started looking for houses. I flew out here, didn't find one. Flew back, got back online. Found this house. I had just finished building it, so I told the realtor, I said, "Go on, take pictures of the basement." She taking pictures of upstairs. She sent it to me. I said, "No," I said, "I ain't worried about this here." I said, "Take a picture of that basement," and then she said, "Well, the basement's unfinished." I said, "Well, then give me a video." So she sent me the video. I looked at it. I said, hey, this the house. As soon as I got here, man, I got busy.
Man, look,
Yeah.
a beautiful home. Beautiful
Yes,
home,
sir.
by the way. So as soon as I came in, I was impressed because the Midwest full of basements. You know what I'm
They
saying?
hit,
Coming down to
definitely
the south, just seeing slabs and carports. I was like, what's going on down here?
Right,
so
right.
so when I do come across a house, they got a nice basement. I'm a basement connoisseur, y'all.
Oh, man,
Cause it's
so-
also like I'm a carpenter by trade. So I
Right.
go in, I look, I'll be like, yo, you can put a room over here. We can put the bathroom. You can add a kitchen. You done did all that, Doc. So I'm preaching to the choir over here with
Right.
this one. But
and I can honestly say he actually built all this by himself. Now I did paint a wall over there too, put up a couple things, you know what I'm saying. But for the most part, he built this on his own, man. So,
man, salute to both of you brothers.
yes,
Appreciate you,
yeah,
man. It's a couple of. I ain't put that old T on that wall. Yeah, I know you see it. I look at it every time. I say, "Oh man, I was tired that day. I ain't gonna pretend like I wasn't. I was in here from 7 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning. I
Trying
said,
to
man,
get
let
it
me just
done,
get this
Doc.
wall up. I said, let me get this frame up. And soon as I said, if I shoot it and it's wrong, I said, I ain't worried about it. I came down, I looked, I said, oh, okay, it's still good. And I put that,
that
sheetrock
drywall on
up.
it.
I said, oh, man, this thing.
Yeah.
Some told me, I said, tear it down. I said, no. I said, hey, I just know better next time.
Hey, the mud go on it, the paint go on it.
Yeah. What y'all
It's
say as
good.
carpenters, if you build it, they will come.
For sure.
Y'all built it. You built your career, and they calling you to come.
For sure.
You
Yes,
built
sir.
this, and you sitting right here today.
Man.
So, yeah, man. So
Real spill.
I wish I'd have paid attention in, Home Ed and all them other workshop and all them other places. What's it?
Wood shop.
Wood shop,
and,
yeah, in school.
Mhm.
I'll get suspended, so I ain't really.
Man, my
yeah.
granddaddy had us doing this.
Yeah.
This was free labor.
Right.
And,
Teach y'all a trade.
He up there, look, shingles and everything. You know, back in the days when they did my roof, I seen them cats get that ladder through them shingles on. I said, oh man, I wish they had that when I was in junior high. We had to throw them shingles on our shoulder and climb up that ladder. And to this day, I'm like, I will never do shingles again.
You went to school for it? You got to trade?
So I went through training with the union
Okay.
in Indianapolis. The first job site I was on, my step pops put me on. It was a roofing job. I was in my teens though, so I'm like, I don't really think I want to get up there for real. He was like, don't worry about it. You not. Your mama ain't finna kill me. He was like, yeah, you gonna stay on the ground and clean up all the stuff we throw down. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Right,
I was
right.
cool with that. I went up on the roof maybe 2 or 3 times to go take something to the OGs or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I still don't
Yeah.
like roofing. You
Really?
know what I'm saying? Like I've built high rises. I've built the hospital that's in the center of Indianapolis. Indianapolis is kind of built like Atlanta.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the hospital. It's been so long since I lived there. But it
Is
runs straight
is it near
through.
this?
Hmm?
Is it near this?
No, it ain't near the speedway.
That's real, okay.
It's smack dab in the middle of the in the city. Cause like the highways run past it.
What
And then they
a
connect.
big monument in the middle? Confederate.
It's not too far from the monument. It's
Okay.
not too far from the monument. But we built the neurological center.
Okay.
It built a whole new
I
wing
ain't
on
been
this
there in a
joint.
minute. Huh? Yeah.
Man, Doc, when I talk about man carpentry and all that, make a man out of you, Doc.
Mm.
I was out there. It was December. It was in December around my birthday, but I'm like, shoot. A lot of times in December in the Midwest, I was gonna sit down.
Yeah.
Everybody trying to sit down, but if you ain't built your money up or you trying to do something, you got to go out and work. Man, Doc,
Yeah, you ain't
I
got
worked in 16-degree weather,
Woo.
Yep, that's it right there.
pouring
That's it.
concrete
Indiana, man.
on the 6th floor. I was with that crew from the 2nd floor all the way to the 6th or 7th. Yes, sir, Doc. Another thing I'll never forget, it wasn't that cold that day, but a snowstorm came through. And that's how I knew I wanted to take this skill and keep moving. A snowstorm that came through, right? Listen to this. And they was like, all right, there's a snowstorm coming through, this and that. I'm like, is it wind blowing? You know, I'm still young. I'm like, we finna get blowed off the joint or what's going on? They're like, no, we should be good. I'm like, be good. We down, moving the concrete pans and all that, getting stuff craned in. And I look around, it started snowing. And I look around, you don't even see none of the other buildings in the city no more. All you see is your crew on this building that ain't even built yet, up in the air and snow all around you. I stood up and looked around. I was like, yo, didn't nobody care, Doc. Everybody was still on the ground. Foul, foul, dude, moving stuff. Crane still moving in. I was like, I think I'm more built for playing the drums than doing this.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you. I'm like, I see y'all next year.
Man, so it was also a 12-degree day. I called off that day. I just didn't come in. So I skipped the 12-degree day. And a lot of cats came in. A couple injuries happened. Some folks slid down the ladder. Had one cat slid on the concrete, hurt his back. Man, Doc. So I came in on a 16-degree day. And they was fussing. They was like, where were you at? This and that. Yeah, that. I was hearing all. I'm just sitting there looking at them like, y'all decided to come. I decided not to. I'm here today.
OSHA said we don't supposed to be out here.
Man, bro, we supposed to be pouring concrete. I was in charge of like getting the water to the top. You know what I'm saying? Running the hose and all that. My hands freezing, feet freezing, and I'm working with water, trying to get the hose to get ice cubes out of it. Man, come on, Doc. I did it. I seen it.
I bet when you ride past looking at people building buildings, you be like, woo.
I used to get excited about it.
Yeah?
I used to get, because that means it's work going on. You see a crane in the city, I was like, oh, okay, we can go to work over there. We're going to work for at least until the winter. You know what I'm saying? I used to get excited about that. Now I see it, I'll be like, Lord bless them, man.
You ain't trying to be an electrician?
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, I think I'm about to, I was on the fence between HVAC or electrician, but I talked to some folks and I think I'm finna go ahead and try to slide over there. Being that I already graduated one program and it was with the union, I think I'm gonna have a good step in.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Spanning it out, man.
I start January. Not January, July 1st.
Okay.
I'm going over to Lincoln Tech.
Okay. No doubt. Respect.
So I don't have to pay nobody to come and mess with the electricity.
For sure.
I pull my own fuse box out, my breakers. Okay, got it.
Now the crazy thing about y'all having that trade, man, I tell him all the time. I said, man, if I knew how to do this, I'd be building studios all over.
Yeah.
What you need? What you need done? Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the studio, like all my work on Instagram, the studio y'all see me in, a lot of people don't know that's at my crib. That's a room at my house.
Oh, that's what's
just
up.
like this. And all that stuff I built put on the walls. I got a panel just like that. I put the LEDs, the fiber optics in it. So I got my own custom star panel I built. All the panels that's on the wall I built. You know what I'm saying? I just ain't got no basement to go crazy in.
Yeah,
you know
built
what I'm
all
saying?
my panels too, man. I'm not finna pay no $300 for no panel. I paid $200 and I built 9 panels.
Yeah.
And then I said, I got some leftover rock walls, so I end up I went and got me some more 1x3s and made some and put over there. So I'm like, man, when I say I got all the power tools and saws and you name it, it's back there in that storage. So it's and that's why I tell folks, you just got to take the time to do it. Like say, hey, I'm not fit. If I can save me a dime by doing it myself, I'm gonna do it myself.
Sure, man. And then when it's done, when it's cooked and it's done, you put it up on the wall, Doc. That's that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Instant.
A lot of folks say, where you get those decorative things on the wall? I said, I built them things. Then I take them one off, and they're like, oh. Then they're like, oh, what's this? I said, hey, that's the string that you for the screen doors. I said, I put that so that fiber won't come fall back down on us when we shaking the room.
For real. Whole thing.
Yeah, I wish you could show you a before and after of all this, man. Cause
I got the pictures.
Yeah, it's
I
amazing.
got the pictures. It's and this the second basement I did. I did one when I was in Kentucky. I did my basement out there in Kentucky. I just instead of this is what I ran into being in the Army, going state to state and stuff like that, you're gonna go to places where ain't no studios. And then, you know, you try to, you know, to keep my mind right, music was always my go to. Music was what kept me from really acting a fool. So I always had to have some music around me.
If y'all think about it, life ain't really nothing without music.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. Say
For
that.
real, for real.
It's boring.
Life ain't really even life for real without music.
What they say, what that thing I gave you? Without life, without music, life would be B flat.
Yeah.
It would be flat.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. You gotta have it, man. And music got me through a lot.
It
Still
did.
do.
For
So,
real.
I'm a live interpretation type of person. I like going and seeing bands and stuff, you know. And it definitely has changed the sound. Now rappers are learning to, perform with bands. So that's when y'all could catch them a lot here in Atlanta and all over the world, really, playing behind bands. I mean, playing behind artists that they perform, which is a dope. You know what I'm saying? And it helps them too.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
It give them the energy that sometimes they'd be missing a little bit. Like they can cook it. If they a beast on the stage, they a beast on the stage. But when you add that, like, man, y'all, some of my favorite memories from early moving down to Atlanta is rocking with Fabo.
Ooh,
okay.
no, that's high energy right
I
there.
call Fabo. I'm a big fan of Fabo before I even got to rock with him. You know what I'm saying? So I call him an energy king.
I mean,
Fabo is an energy king, y'all. Like he's still pulling that energy and giving it to the crowd, giving it to the people.
Yeah, I seen him at the Melton House when last year when MJG on 8 Ball and it was Bun B Kane, Fabo, cause who opened up? Fabo opened up, then what's that boy name? That always wanna fight me. Man, what's that boy name? Patrick Troy.
He want to wrestle you. He a wrestler.
Stupid, man.
He got that
That's
belt.
sure ain't thinking about him, man. That boy is wild, man.
They was scrappy.
PT cruising.
PT. Big fan of PT, man.
Yeah, PT, yeah.
His music hit hard in the Midwest.
Yeah, man. Like, that's like people used to sleep on the Midwest. The only reason why I appreciate it because I used to live there. And I seen, like, Purdue Station, Kansas, and I got to go to one of Tech Nine. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, Tech
Okay,
Nine, man.
Tech
Cold,
Nine.
bro. One of the
Yeah,
coldest
real college.
independent. Like,
yeah, man. Went to his concert. I was like, ain't no way he's saying that many words
man,
in a song. And then, of course, we already knew Twister, but him, it was like, and then, of course, Bone Thug. So that whole Midwest sound, man, y'all
Coochie Conflict.
Yeah, Coochie Conflict. Yeah.
man, shout out to my oldest sister, man. We was a gospel household. You know what I'm saying? That's what mom was on, and that's what she was trying to keep us on. You know, my oldest sister was the first one to start breaking me out into Bone Thugs, Mystical. Before Mystical, it was Twister. So she was like, "Oh, you like Twister?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Mystical?"
See,
I was like, heard of Mystical. I was like, my sister put me
That's
on
hard.
Mystical,
That's
dog.
hard.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I really wish he could have done, better by his career. But I mean, honestly, I'm still a fan of his music, dog.
You know he was in the Army too, right? You know he was in the Army too.
That's why he yelled like that. That's why he be yelling.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm a big fan of them cats. But as y'all can hear, as y'all can start to hear the reason I explain this, it's kind of like a secret. Is the reason why I play the way I play and my sound is a little bit different than others is because I watched other drummers, I listened to other drummers, but I was listening to how Twister and Mystical and Bone is putting these syllables down over the beat.
That's hard.
I was listening to that. Like, these cats is on the other side of the beat. They still flip it, coming in on the one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They tripling, quads, still coming in on the one. You know what I'm saying? That's why and then so you add that to Missy Timberland and Pharrell's production and Organized Noise.
Yep.
All their production came out different than everything else. So I've always been with this stuff that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? But still catch you. You know what I'm saying? Still catch you right here.
Is that so who are some of your influences on the drum?
Oh man, look. So YouTube came out like 2006, 2007, and I actually start. I got ragged on by my jazz drum teacher because he was like, "You play traditional, but you don't play like a jazz drummer." I'm like, "Well, what that's supposed to mean? I thought you were supposed to give it your all, give it your heart, get in there and get busy." He was like, "Do you know who Buddy Rich is?" I was like, "Buddy Rich." He was like, "Oh no, oh, go watch some Buddy Rich videos and then we can talk." Buddy Rich, just musical education, one of the best big band drummers that ever did it. He, white guy, he played till he was in his late 60s, or I think maybe like, basically he passed away by having a heart attack on the drums.
Oh wow.
He never stopped. He was super cold, and he had the tricks and all that stuff too. You know what I'm saying? He came through with the tricks. He played with the big band. He coming through with all the tricks, sweating it out. I'm talking about serious. Old dude. I'm like, damn, because it inspires you. You think like, okay, playing drums, that's a young thing. You're going to do it when you're young. Like, after a while, what else you going to do then? Then I looked up Buddy Rich. Man was sweating it out to the end. So I was heavily inspired by him to also see a cat playing traditional. And all the stuff that he can do with traditional grip. He hitting the cymbals, boom, 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 boom. 60 years old, something like that. So that was an early inspiration. Then you got Eric Moore. Eric Moore is a bigger cat. He won the Guitar Center drum off the same year I graduated, like 2004. So I had heard about Eric Moore, but I wasn't able to really tap into him until YouTube came around. So Eric Moore, people, and we kind of, I haven't met him yet. We kind of look like we can. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Once you see him, you can be like, oh, okay, I get what he's saying. But when it come down to when I start watching him play, he played how I thought. You know what I'm saying? All them ideas I was cooking in my head, he was doing it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Eric Moore, man. That's a heavy influence. And I don't want to get it twisted. I really haven't taken much from his style, but some people may be like, okay, I can see your Eric Moore influence, but it was more so we have a similar approach to the drums.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So even if you seeing it down, what you think I've been stealing or nothing like that, I've
Eric
been
Moore and Buddy Rich. I'm definitely
Eric Moore, Buddy Rich, JoJo Mayer. JoJo Mayer. Yeah, a special cat. Right now, like the influences I got, that's like some cats that's young that's out doing it right now. Sticks Tailor plays for Justin Bieber and Usher.
Oh, okay.
Dope.
Yep.
So let me ask you a question. You got it's this young lady that be on TikTok and on Instagram. She's a drummer. So she I can't think of the guy that play the keys, and then they do like a duo online.
Who's that?
I can't think of her name.
Dami or something like that.
She a sister.
Oh,
and she always said she wear her hair natural.
I think I know who you're talking about. Kind of like a young, kind of
She
young.
young.
Yeah, I know that. I don't know. I can't remember the name. I thought you were gonna say Sheila E.
No, not Sheila.
Oh my gosh. No, that she was just always. She was just like she was inspiring to me, but that was more so like the one you look at and be like, oh snap, you know what I'm saying? That's my boo, right? You know what I'm saying? It was more like that, you know what I'm saying? Like Dream Girl said, a Dream Drum Girl.
So what about the funky drummer, James Brown?
Clyde.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the depth of Clyde until I got older. Clyde Stubblefield was such an orchestrator and team player in that band with James that it wasn't that I wasn't looking at him as a drummer. It was more so like that was a sound. That was a sound, and it marked a bracket of time. You know what I'm saying? That sound was everywhere. Even if James wasn't playing it, you had other cats doing records with the whole the bop. You know what I'm saying? The shuffles and the backbeat. You know, everything like that.
He
And
the
once I got older, I found out how important Clyde Stubblefield
This
was to hip hop.
yes,
So
most
Clyde was
sampled.
kind of most sampled drummer ever in hip hop. So like, I won't say it was before my time, but it was before my recollection.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For me
Yeah.
to call him a favorite, but like, definitely well respected,
Yeah,
heavily
hard.
respected.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I can explain
No,
that.
that's perfectly said. There, perfectly
So
said.
you graduated from high school in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because the records that was sampled in hip hop was like in the 80s, early 90s. So as I go back and listen, and then listen to James Brown music, I said, okay, yeah, I can hear them drums. You could tell from um, what's not Kumo
Cool
D.
Modi.
You had Big Daddy Kane,
Mm-hmm.
all of them, a lot of
NWA.
yeah, they sampled him.
All of them sound.
So you were like, oh, okay, that's where they got them drums from. Okay, that's where they got that drums from. Especially when I started putting them records on the needle, then I was like, listen, oh, that's where that come from.
That's
So
crazy.
it's like you start a lot of records that I didn't listen to. I would say the last 20 years. I started picking up all the stuff that was sampled. I said, oh, that's where they got it from. But I got breakbeat records over there. So I was like, oh, this is where they get these old 1977 breakbeat records from. So it's like, you as a drummer, I know it's definitely, that's why I asked, because I said, I know that cat was some serious on them drums.
Man, think
Yeah.
about what we just said. Clyde Stubblefield was such a team player as a drummer. His drums even was a team player even after he was done playing.
Yep.
Hard.
His drums was such a heavy part of getting everybody on and getting a sound, a bop for everybody to dance to, break dance to, b-boys and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's heavy. He was a team
Yeah.
player from his time, his band, and for many, many other artists.
Yes, he
I
is.
hope his family reaping the benefits of this too.
Yeah.
I would like to do a study case on that one day just to see them and the people who did Motown. I forgot the name of the Motown sound. It's like a group of them. I don't watch the documentary about 4 times. I can't even think about it. But think of their name. But it's a group of them. That whole Motown sound came from that band.
Yeah.
So maybe our PM can Google it.
Yeah, it's to be respected, man.
It is.
It's to be respected for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's like I said, man, you done a lot since you've been here, and I know that move from Indiana to here. I know you was like, yes, I'm glad I made that move. I don't know. I'm gonna say this here. When I talked to Chevie when I was overseas, trust me, man, he know I was heading back to Texas. I was heading back to Texas, and then when I sat at my desk, and I had to ask myself, I said, if I go back to Texas and the part of Texas I was at, the music scene really wasn't there. So then I was like, if I go back there and still have to deal with a city that the music industry is not there, and then everybody wanna question your ability or come here, I said, would I regret it? So then I said, that kept playing in my head. I said, will I regret it if I don't come here? And so I just said, I'm coming to Atlanta. And so when I got here, I talked to him. I started working on the bass. I said, cuz I'm going back to school for audio engineering. And then he was like, I got in there, started, like you said, it just seemed like it opened a whole lot of doors for me that couldn't open for me if I went back to Texas. So I know as you went, like you said, once you got here, things just start happening for you. And then it's like, I never go back and tell folks, hey, look, I told y'all I'm gonna do it. I just let it speak for itself. I'm never a person to sit there and say, I told y'all I was gonna do music. I told y'all I was gonna make it in music. I just say, hey, if you mess with me, you mess with me. If you don't, you don't. Then so a lot of folks that doubted me, They knocking on the door now.
That's how it go. That's how it go. That's how you gotta move.
Yes, sir.
So have you ever been on tour with anybody? Or
Man,
did
so
any corporate gigs, things of that nature?
corporate gig, yeah, I did a little bit of corporate stuff since I've been down. Man, so the tour thing, I haven't been on an official tour. I went on a tour in the Midwest with the band that I made those 2 records with.
Gotcha.
So I've been on tour with them. I did a little bit of corporate band moving around,
Gotcha.
but yeah, not an official tour yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
It's coming.
Oh yeah.
It's coming. Your resume is growing because BET, Trap Music Awards, all the other things. Of course, you know, I can always catch AT at the top 20 events and some more stuff. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Just seen you at the No Limit Mac and Fiend event.
Back in Fiend,
That
No
was
Limit.
legendary. That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Seeing
The
them.
also, well, I've been doing dates with the it's a game show
Mm.
called Urban Trivia. It's kind of like a card game where it's like they got different songs or whatever, and they'll play a song and see if you can complete the
Oh, that's dope.
complete the
Just
lyrics or
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
and different
Oh,
movie
okay.
scenes
I
and stuff
did
like
see
that.
that.
So
dope.
I work with them. I went out to Dallas to work with them as well. So like I move around with them,
Yeah.
but it's not like a tour bus situation.
But just
You know what I'm saying? But it's like they'll fly me
like
out.
spot dates.
Yeah, they'll fly me out. We get busy.
Yeah.
And we did 3 here in Atlanta. Out of those 3, at least 2 of them were sold out.
Wow.
2 of them were sold out at center stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you do the Ish show too, Big Banks.
Oh yeah. I did that. I
That be
did the
packed
Ish
out,
show a
too.
couple
I'm gonna
times.
check. I'm gonna catch one of them. I be out of town a lot, so I definitely
Yeah.
want to catch one of them.
So as you can hear, like even though this is the best place for me to be, it's like
Yes.
even when I'm not on tour, I'm not on that
Yeah.
type of time. I'm literally like dang near
Yeah. So this thing
through
about
the
this
city.
place, man. Everybody got. I tell you, everybody got to come here. The Pope, the President, all the world dignitary. Everybody got to come here. So you're in a good spot. You know what I'm saying? We all in a good spot. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
But you can't let just be don't hit that glass ceiling. You do have to step out every now and then to see other things.
Mhm.
I seen you, in the Caribbean and some other places.
Oh
you be
man.
moving around.
Yeah.
I was like, man, how you get them drum sets through customs and all them?
So what venues do you play at around here? Do you so like I know backstage they kind of revamp themselves. They got that live band and artists can come up there. They can do covers or they can play their original music.
Mhm.
Have you ever did that gig at backstage?
I'm very familiar with backstage. I go to backstage it's a real musicians meetup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I see the cats. We get to hop on the stage, rock, or we could just chill. You know what I'm saying? Talk to everybody. Um, one of my videos on Instagram is from backstage. I had ended up. This was before I like knew a lot of the musicians there. I had hopped up there and just worked with the DJ because I can do that also, and not many musicians is keen to that, but I can do both. So I hopped up on stage and I got a video on my Instagram where I'm playing to Biggie, like a Biggie track. It's like a mid slow tempo, and it look like I'm moving in slow motion because I'm doing all my stick tricks and stuff. So yeah, I rock with backstage before. It's very like a home,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, home base type feeling.
that's dope. That's dope.
What else you got? When I did my first show, I call it the Vick experience. The first show I did, second one I did, Fabo pulled up to me at R Bar.
Okay.
Y'all familiar with R Bar in Edgewood? Before R Bar is what it is now. R Bar had a stage.
Yeah.
Of course, they got lights. They had a stage, but they had subs up under the stage. They had 2 21-inch subs. So I picked R Bar. I picked R Bar because they had the stage. They got the bar in the middle. It's right off the main street. So I'm like, even if we can grab some people from the street, and we used to. You know what I'm saying?
It's right there on that corner.
Man, doc, I go in there. They'll plug up my my kick. man, every time I hit the kick, the whole stage shaking. I got my electronic pad. I got an Ulysses, that multi-strike.
Okay.
That Ulysses multi-strike, man, that joint, it sounds just like your sounds on your Akai, your beat machine.
Yeah.
So I'm in there hitting the 808s, whole, you can hear the bass ripple through the roof. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about the one with the 4 pads?
I got the 8.
Oh, you got the 8
9.
pad? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the full joint.
Usually they squares, and yeah,
The
they always be
squares.
like, usually I see the drummers have them sitting right here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, I play to the right or to the left, depending on what I'm doing. So R bar, we cranked that R bar for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
That place to be kind of like it's smaller.
Yeah,
intimate,
I
but
roll
it's-
past it so many
My boy
times.
Sean, shout out to Sean, old national royalty, be on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sean, yeah,
old
Sean.
national
Shout out to
royalty.
Sean for sure, for
Me and him
sure.
been on tour a lot, man. So good dude, man.
Yeah.
To me, he one of the best A&Rs in the city because he know everything that come through here, bro. Everything. And I said, man, you probably gonna get you a labor job. He said, nah, I can't deal with that.
He always be low key.
He know. I mean, every artist you could think of, he know. He done told. He's hey, he gonna be the next big thing, Baby Kill, or he'll just name out somebody because he get to see them in all the open mics.
Mm-hmm.
He see all of them. So I like, boy, you need to get you an A&R job, man. He be like, I ain't about that life. You know what I'm saying? But our bar, that's one of my. They got some good wings in there too.
Yeah, nah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good
It's
time.
a good time in there. And then most recently, my brother Mike Pearson. I just did a birthday celebration / well, it was a Vick experience, but we was honoring him too, cause he not only allowed me to have a date at his new venue. It's called Code 44.
Okay.
It's off Main Street in College Park.
Okay.
You know, College Park then did a whole new revamp. You know, downtown.
Down there in a minute. I guess.
Yeah, it's
Now
it's,
that's where the original Milk and Honey and all that stuff.
Yeah.
At. You got is it you talking? Is it the one on the corner?
So yeah, so it's the basically you got Milk and Honey, and then you got that side street that
Yeah.
cut through the it'll go towards the fire station.
Yeah.
And if you go the other way, it's going over the railroad tracks. He right on that block.
Okay.
On the corner. And Jiggy.
I'm gonna go check it out.
And
That's
Jiggy,
my
man.
bad too. I thought it was your birthday.
Yeah, no, a couple. Okay, so the whole story behind that, I literally had to get in there and I told the person thank you, but no thank you.
Right.
I had to delete that post off my story, so the rest of the people that seen the story didn't think it was my birthday, because I was getting so many birthdays. I was like, yo, man, I appreciate it, but then that wasn't what it was.
Yeah, I
So shout out to my bro Mike, man. I hit him. I was like, yo, I hadn't done a Vick experience in about 2 years. I took some time off, but cause our bar had changed. Our bar ain't got the stage no more. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, I ain't been in that minute.
Yeah, the stage is gone. So they've been morphing it. No high rise no more. The subs is gone.
Is the DJ up in the corner?
Just the DJ up in the corner. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. So I did that. The Code 44 situation. I called him. I was like, hey man, I want to do something middle of May. You know what I mean? Middle of May, not nothing on the weekend. I ain't trying to compete with, the concerts and stuff like that. Let's go middle of May. He's like, what you think? I was like, I'm like a Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Close enough to the weekend. I was like, how about the 15th? He was like, you sure you want to do it on the 15th? I was like, yeah, actually, I'm really feeling that day. Forgetting. He like, yeah. All right, you could do it. You know it's my birthday, right? I'm like, oh, dang, bro. I had forgot. I was so in business mode and just trying to pick a good date. And I was like, man, you sure? He was like, man, come on, man. We gonna do a party together.
That's dope.
Man, the show I just pulled off recently, the Vick experience I just pulled off was so cold. I flew down a female comedian host from Brooklyn. She's not only herself as a comedian, she also does a character. And she goes from...
That's the Stevie Wonder?
Huh? No, she looked like she looked like...
Stephen A?
No, she looks like Sammy Davis Jr. So she'll put like a whole little wig on. And she'll go from just like Jamie Foxx does Wanda.
Yeah.
And Martin does Shanae.
Yeah.
Man, I'm talking about she is the next that.
Wow.
When she goes from being a female and flips into this character she got, it is so funny, y'all. And the thing is that she still looks like a female for the most part, but she got a suit on, suit coat, whole little wig with the bouncy curl in the front. And instead of a fake mustache, she takes just
That's
a random piece of black
tape.
electrical tape.
I seen it. Yeah, okay. Cause I'm getting confused with the other. Okay, I know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to Angela Starr. Thank you so much for coming through and making that show what I knew it was gonna be. She came out starting as herself, came out looking beautiful, doing her comedy, vibing, and everything. So I told her, I was like, when you come out as the other character, I want you to roast everybody, including me. Like, I don't care. Roast the band. I'm gonna give you their IG. She was like, yeah, I'm gonna do some looking. I'm gonna look up, what I'm saying, what they own, what they about. She did a phenomenal job. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm gonna start. The thing is about the stuff I've been doing since I've been down here, it is inspiring. You know what I'm saying? And I remain to be humble about it. Only reason why I'm speaking about it is because I'm letting y'all know right now, y'all gonna see that more often. Y'all gonna see the people hiring comedians to come host their show instead of just a host.
It actually started. It used to be like that a lot.
Really?
Back in the day, like that's how Bernie Mac and Robin Harris, all them people, they
Robert
always
Harris so dang on funny,
yeah.
bro.
He won my top 5, man.
Gee, that's a bad
They-
dude. Bernie for sure.
They always. That's how Bernie's so good at stand up because he used to do the shows in Chicago.
Just with
they
rocking
have-
with the band.
Yeah, he'll be the comedian part of it, host and everything, and then bring out the bands and had a whole variety show.
Word.
Yeah, that's how they.
A variety. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
That's
that's how
also
they good.
that's how I coined my show. My show is a
Yeah.
variety show.
Yeah.
I don't just bring singers and rappers.
Yeah.
It's more so I bring a saxophone player, violinist, comedian, somebody that may dance. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So when the next one?
Yeah.
Next Ray Vick experience.
Okay. We got I got a couple texts coming in right now. I've been having some phone calls. I'm trying to lock in a date at Code 44.
Okay.
So
Code
we're gonna
44.
continue building up Bro's spot.
Okay.
When y'all ready to go by Code 44, let me know. You know what I'm saying? We can it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? We go by, take a visit. It's not exactly open as a club. It's still an event center. But we can definitely go over there and check it out. That way, if y'all want to do something as well, plug you with my brother.
Okay.
Dope.
It's all good business.
Yeah, I like event centers. I don't like clubs no more.
For sure.
I mean, I'm cool with clubs. With being clubs, we paid to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't be in
yeah.
the club. Now, I will go to backstage.
Yeah.
That's
backstage.
That's smooth.
Backstage.
Say event center. You got
1942, good.
Yeah.
They have a live band on Fridays and Saturdays. They started back at Pseudos. If the Pseudos over here, they had stopped it. Then they I can't think of that band they had in there. They had tubas, they had bass drum.
Red Sample Band.
Yeah.
Red Sample Band.
Them
Damn.
doors
Bad.
cold. They cold.
Bad.
some horns in there. Huh?
Man, they had
Sousaphone.
tubas and
and
everything.
everything.
Wrap
yeah.
around.
That's what they tried to put me on when I first joined the band. Tuba.
I can see that.
Boy, I weighed 75 pounds.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, what? I said, what I'm gonna do with this?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So back to the venues, Knock Music House, because I did that with No Limit Soldiers, Mac and Fiend.
That's a dope venue.
That's a nice venue.
It's like an old plantation house. It's like
Yeah.
it look nice though.
Oh, that's where the Knicks Mix was at.
okay.
Because you walk in, then you can go downstairs.
We started in downstairs.
Because the stage downstairs.
They wouldn't let me upstairs.
So,
Nah, I'm messing with
so the stage downstairs.
Yeah.
Then you got the bar. The bar was round. Then they had like a little VIP section over there. Yeah, I've been over there.
That's a nice venue.
The Cigar Parlor. Y'all can catch me, you know what I'm saying? If you grown, you know what I'm saying? You probably can catch me at the Cigar Parlor. Those dates aren't really consecutive. Those joints just kind of pop up, here and there. I go in there and rock.
So it'll be on your social media?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Cigar Parlor. That's right down off Jonesboro Road, I think. Not too far from, around the corner from Morrow. Like that
Okay.
Way
I know
down
where
there.
he
I
is.
know exactly where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
No, that's dope.
There'd be so many places. I just be trying to figure. I'm trying to, just.
Now, I just seen the
Think
story
about it.
where you and the comedian that rat was eating that watermelon. I was like, what they in New York or they in Atlanta? Where they at?
She's from New York. She from Brooklyn.
So she used to that.
So she was like, I'm used to seeing rats,
Yeah.
but never eat no watermelon. I was like, that's a rat from the
Yeah,
South.
sure
you
was.
know?
That rat big too. Boy. I
So
was
that
like,
just goes to
yeah.
show. I also did a skit with her to do the marketing for my show and everything. Man, me and that lady, we just got like a comedic, when we together, it's just like a comedic presence. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So when we came together, we just started talking about stuff and we would just, everything. She's funny.
Yeah.
I just say funny stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's a real comedian. But like when we together and we just be back and forth, like, man, it's lit.
That's good. Comedy is good for marketing, man. Like,
Mhm.
you can get somebody to laugh, they'll rock with you.
Mhm.
So
Yes, it is. But man, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Man, my pleasure.
We definitely thank you for coming out here and sharing your story with us and your experience in this music industry, and everything that you do, I know God's shining on you and he gonna keep, because you, like I said, you started off in the church, and I know you're very humble. I mean, when I got introduced to you, like I said, you got this good spirit around you.
Man, I appreciate that, bro.
And it's definitely,
I appreciate that.
It's definitely, it's an honor to meet you.
Likewise.
And I pray that you continue to rise to the top like you're doing, because, that's the only way you can go, because, God got them wings on you. He can take you up there. So, again, it's a pleasure. Won't you look in that camera and tell everybody where they can find you on social media?
This your boy Ray Vick right here, real quick, from Gary, Indiana. One of Gary, Indiana's finest, right along with Freddie Gibbs and Michael Jackson. Y'all better believe it, because we don't play. You can find me on YouTube. I got over 5,000 subscribers on YouTube right now. Looking to continue that rolling. You can also find me on Instagram. My followers are getting close to 10K. I have not been posting as much as I need to on there, but I'm right back at y'all on both platforms. So Instagram at Ray Vick Drums, YouTube at Ray Vick Drums. Don't follow me on Facebook. That's for family. I don't want you in there getting my auntie's business.
you like the
and
second
little
person that
sister's
said
business
that, ain't it?
and all that. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a lot more personal over there. I like to keep it that way. It ain't no diss. It's all love. Just follow me on YouTube, Instagram.
Yes, sir. You got anything, cuz?
I don't, man. I appreciate
Talk
you
to me,
coming,
Doc.
man. I
Talk
really
to me,
appreciate
Doc.
you, man. Good. You see this energy? This is the energy he always had. He always greet you with a smile. And when he get behind what's the set called?
Them drum.
What's the brand?
The Pearl drum.
Pearl drum.
Mm-hmm.
He do pearl drums and pearl jamming. So you know what I'm saying? Hey man, he's a beast with it, man. Definitely check my guy out, man. Ray Vick, man. #1 drummer.
Appreciate you,
know what I'm saying?
Doc.
Appreciate you, my guy. Thank
Appreciate
for
you
coming
always
out,
being
man.
solid,
For
Chevy.
sure.
Thanks for inviting me, Doc. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes,
No
sir.
doubt.
For sure.
Again, thank y'all for coming out to Tailor Talk Podcast.
Tailor Talk, let's go.
And remember to subscribe, like, and share.